I know that if the Panthers win tonight,
Mm-hmm.
most likely, it's going to mean a Conn Smythe for Sam Bennett
Or
Brad.
Brad Marchand.
However, is there any chance we get Bob shutout?
Bob shutout to do it.
Could Bob work his way back in to the Conn Smythe? Because I'm looking at the Conn Smythe odds, and Bob was pretty juicy. I was just throwing a little.
You think one
Chili
more
peppers?
shutout is enough?
Plus 9,000?
Okay.
4 shutouts?
Doesn't hurt necessarily.
4 shut. You shut out a clincher.
Yeah.
Shut out a clincher and let's say no goals tonight by Bennett, no assists, no. I don't want to root for that. I'm just saying, like, just theoretically, it sets up no assists, no goals for Bennett or Marchand, but the Cats win, and Bob pitches a shutout, or even a 1-goaler, but he's amazing. Any chance he sneaks in there? Because the odds say no.
I'm gonna say no.
Plus 9,000.
I'm gonna say no.
I would say that it's going to be hard when you've talk about the amount of goals that Sam Bennett has
Marchand.
or Marchand, right? And like this whole final has been more about the great offensive shots and less about the great goalie stops.
But you can't deny.
No, you
that
can't. I'm just saying who's more worthy, right? When you look at the way the series is gone. This is not, if it had been like 5 games or these first 5 games have been like 1-goal games with 1,000,000 stops and 2-1 and just frantic, then yeah, I could see that.
Oh, he's plus 10,000 on the Hard Rock Group.
I mean, you could take a flyer.
That's what I'm saying, right, baby? A little flyer.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just a little flyer, my boy Bob. I know it's probably I know it's probably gonna go to Benny or Brad, and it probably should. But if there's a shutout tonight and they don't do nothing, I mean, a shutout.
Don't count it. Well, a shutout.
I mean, it could be some lasting image, because keep in mind it's throughout the playoffs. Bob's had what, 4?
That would be his 4th.
That would be his 4th shutout.
Mm-hmm.
What's the record? The record's like.
The record's like 9, I think, or like
okay.
6.
So
it's not like the record, but that's still a lot of shutouts.
Yeah, but you're comparing it to the best ever, right? Like that would have to be.
Best. You don't have to compare it to the best ever. Schmieden says, "Hey, Colonel Sanders, stop counting your chickens." Oh, I'm not counting chickens. It's literally betting, Schmieden. How is one supposed to bet without counting some chickens and just thinking about scenarios? Is it greedy for me to do that? Bob's my guy.
One could say.
Bob is in 4th, though, in my opinion.
But behind who?
The 2 that you mentioned from the Cats. And you know how these people do. They're liable to put Draisaitl above Bob.
Well, that's how the odds are right now. It's Bennett as the favorite, Marchand, and then it's Draisaitl and McDavid, even Steven for the.
But how these two?
McDavid.
Well, because it's all of the playoffs. That's why, and he has like 30.
No, but you got to account also like if they come back and win, and you're gonna bet like those are gonna be the Oilers who win.
Right.
Look, if they lose in 6, or if they do that again, just throw that award in a fire if you do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Last year, record break. All right. This year, kiss my ass. All right, you guys said not to bet Bob. I won't bet Bob. Whatever. How about we mix it on up, huh? Nobody has any fun around here. We used to gamble on this show.
Okay.
We used to be a proper show that threw chili peppers to the wind.
Yeah, and then we only won one time when Jaime Jaquez did something cool, and I don't know if we won since.
I did hit a 6-team parlay on the first day of March Madness.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I only bet that because I bet spring training the day before because we were doing the show at the Hard Rock and we pushed.
That's great. So we've won 2 bets in 2 years, essentially. Not the best record, but anyways, let us dive into the mixed bag. Of course, as we know, everyone is following the Miami Heat and their hunt for Kevin Durant. Wow. I can't when we're not focusing, of course, on acquiring Kevin Durant, we always have our eyes open for the next potential acquisition. One of the many names on the Tobin list of people.
Don't assume that I have a list. I don't like that. Don't say that I don't have a list.
I can name people on your list. You got Luka.
I would like if he didn't sign the extension this summer. That would be nice.
So many people on the list, including this young man, Ja Morant.
Oh, dunks. Well,
don't get too excited.
Didn't they say he's not on the market?
Well, it's not even he anymore, apparently.
According to some tweets, Ja Morant posted talking about the Grizz more than the finals with these cap emoji sources.
That means fake.
There you go. Thank you for breaking that down for
no
me.
Cap.
Says, and I'm gonna be in that 901 with a bear emoji. What does that mean?
Grizzlies.
Okay, no, tell me that's breaking things down.
Oh, that's the area code of Memphis. I believe. Everybody knows
really?
the 901.
The Grizzlies, yeah.
Source me.
So Ja Morant is saying he's not getting traded from Memphis.
Correct. He's saying, leave me alone. I'm not going anywhere.
That's what a pigeon would say.
That's what a pigeon would say.
You can't use his words against him.
I just did. All right. Listen, never wanted him. Immature. Okay. Can't stay healthy. Dude builds a brick house and he barely dunks anymore. So never wanted Ja Morant anyway.
Wow, never wanted
him.
That's crazy.
That's easy for you to say because you do that about a lot of guys who you have no chance of getting. Just saying.
Don't come knocking at me, Ja.
Yeah. Never wanted him.
Never wanted him. What else you got in the mixed bag?
Yesterday's NBA Finals game 6 occurred. Right? 3?
What?
5? What was yesterday's game?
Game 5.
5 occurred. And we had an all-star performance from an unlikely source. Jalen Williams, who's becoming a
pretty likely source. He scored 25 in 3 straight.
Budding star in the NBA.
Oh, he was an all-star.
Yeah, but if I were to tell you name 10 basketball players that are up and coming in the NBA, Jalen Williams not on the list.
That's
not because he doesn't deserve to be, but it's just we don't hear a lot about Mr. Williams. But I'm sure that's going to change after this performance yesterday. This is him on dropping 40 points in a finals game.
Something more that I'll look back on later on than worry about what kind of statement it makes. I think the only statement we have right now is we're up 3-2 and we still have to go earn another win. But it'll be cool to look back on later on and hopefully somewhere down the line I'll have a more fun answer for you.
Athletes. Gotta love them.
Ja Morant has also added, instead of focusing on the performances we've seen from J-Dub and Shea, TJ and Siakam, how the series is going, we say something negative about a city and team on a national level.
No love for Haliburton, huh?
No love for Haliburton. But he wasn't very good yesterday because he's hurt.
Limpy. He's had enough.
There was a lot of time on television. I mean, you guys did just make a big trade. I would get that. Sometimes I get that argument where people are like, it's the game 5 of the finals. People like to be chic about that. I think that's a fair argument if you're making GOAT arguments or what is Dak Prescott going to do this year? And it's like the day of the finals.
Yeah.
They did just trade Desmond Bain. Like the Grizzlies are going to be a bit of a talking point, Josh. So, learn the media game, dude.
All right. Fair enough.
Would you have traded for Desmond Bain? Not that much, but
I like Desmond Bain. I actually thought, like, when the whole Jimmy thing was going on, I was like, I thought that would have been a natural swap.
He didn't want to go to Memphis, though.
He didn't want to go to Memphis. And that's actually what got mentioned today. What John's talking about is Stephen A. went on First Take today, and he said that a lot of NBA players don't want to go to Memphis because it's dangerous. So that's what Ja's referring to there, I think. He's upset that Memphis is catching strays from Stephen A.
Why are they worried about Stephen A? Do you?
Well, Ja Morant's not doing him.
Anybody drop a solitaire joke on him yet? Next show, I would have been like, oh, you're not playing solitaire today.
Stephen A. Smith said today, NBA players have told him they would feel unsafe playing in City Life Memphis. Quote, cats like Jimmy Butler and others don't feel like it's the safest environment. I'm talking to local authorities in Memphis.
Wait. We're talking about like the city is unsafe. That's what they're worried about. I thought it was like the status of Ja Morant could be a wild card.
No,
they're talking about their safety. They're worried about Memphis in that regards. Detroit exists, right? They know that that's a place where people play basketball, right? Like this is not the only place that's
but some places are big enough where all of their stuff is in the suburbs.
Memphis, you're worried about your safety, so you can't. First of all, you're gonna be.
I mean, wasn't one of Ja Morant's like original confrontations with a teenager at one of his parties or something like that?
Yeah, but like this wasn't like his life was threatened. The kid got yappy while they were playing at 21.
You're playing. The kid got yappy.
He got yappy. So you call that a jump shot? Just things turned into a scuffle. I just think that's a horrible excuse. First of all, you're one of the tallest human beings, every basketball player that will be in the city. Let's start with that. Second of all, you're gonna be in a nice area. You're gonna have drivers. You're gonna have security. I just feel like to say that the city's unsafe. I don't want to go to Memphis. Is stupid. That's stupid. Philly looks crazy. Have you been to certain streets in Philadelphia? It looks ridiculous. Skid Row? Is that what it's called?
What?
Where's that place? Skid Row? Baltimore, maybe? There's so many places I feel like. Memphis? God bless Grind City.
I would say this. When I think of tough places to grow up, I don't think Memphis. But
I'm saying
where I'm from probably has something to do with that.
I would kind of make more like, oh my God, New Orleans? Ninth Ward Horde? You heard of that guy?
Hey,
they call you that?
No, but it's weird because when you hear me and Dan Day talk, he just know where I'm from and he's like, I don't mess with them.
There's a story from October of 2024. Memphis is considered the most dangerous city in the U.S. to live in.
Jeez.
I actually have heard that, though.
Memphis?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's disappointing. That's disappointing.
Is it?
I'm walking in Memphis.
I like to think that there was more.
It's definitely a song. What do you mean? That's definitely a song.
No way.
It's a song, dude.
Mark Cohn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put on my blues with you tonight. On the born rain. I'm walking in Memphis.
Walking in Memphis, huh? All right. Maybe I don't know things. Who knows?
And John Morant just threw a fake grenade.
Just walking in Memphis.
I'm walking in Memphis. And Marcus Gasol just got Fizdale fired.
We'll go back to the Gasol days. Zach Randolph.
I'm walking in Memphis. Did you know Justin Timberlake was a part owner?
Oh, that's right. That was right.
He has a golf tournament there too.
I thought that's why Jimmy would have gone there. Remember my terrible theory that I thought that Justin Timberlake was tampering with the Heat. I thought that he would have liked Memphis because he could have been like 2 seconds away from Nashville to go do his country album.
Right.
Oh, well.
Any water in Memphis? No, right? What's the problem? He the place with
You
water.
know what it is?
Mhm.
Home of the Blues.
It's true.
Walking in
I
Memphis.
gotta hear that song now at this
I'm
point.
gonna hear this in my head.
Just gonna be watching the final. Walking in Memphis.
Do you have anything else in the mixed bag?
I got Haliburton on deciding to play.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Makes NBA Finals. It's the finals, man. I've worked my whole life to be here, and I want to be out there to compete. Help my teammates any way I can. I was not great tonight by any means, but it's not really a thought of mine to not play here. If I can walk, then I want to play. So they understand that, and is what it is, and got to be ready to go for Game 6.
Yep. I mean, like, look, that's.
but that's what people want to hear, right? Like, people at this point don't really care how much he's hurt, right? Because I always think of the Jay Cutler thing, right? We trashed him before. Everybody trashed him for being soft before they even knew what was wrong. And that's the kind of the same thing that they would say about Tyrese Haliburton, is that he's soft, even though something could really be wrong.
Remember Goran? After Goran got hurt, his foot blew up, and then he tried to play in that Game 6. He just had nothing.
Right, but so my
Crying.
question is
Broke my
that,
heart.
or like, so how do we look at that? Are we looking at that as not a smart decision, or, oh yeah, he's giving us everything even though he's not productive?
I gotta be honest with you, dude. When I saw it was a calf and how many Achilles it feels like there's been lately, I was like, because that's exactly what happened to Durant. Remember?
Yeah, they all start off as calf injuries, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I was like.
Remember, originally they called it a quad. Then they said calf.
He's not walking in Memphis because he's got a tight calf.
He's limping in Memphis.